Hi,
We'll do
we're
it
the high
first.
school film nerds. I'm Josh, this is Bret, this is Alex, she's new, this is Paige, and this is Cooper. We sponsor Sunkist.
And Fiji.
And Fiji water. Still better
Yeah.
product placement than the Emoji Movie.
The Glass Cast.
Great segue!
Yes. Who here has read the book? Who here has not?
So there's this, what's her name?
Jeanette.
Jeanette Walls and her family are very poor. And that's the story. The book was a memoir about Jeanette Walls' life, like growing up, like through tragedy, but like still loving her family through it.
I mean, apparently it really isn't the book.
It's really not.
No.
A lot of stuff's left out. A lot of stuff was changed.
In the book, it deals with rape, molestation, murder.
Oh, there's a teen pregnancy in the book.
Also, I just want to say, Bret has not seen this movie yet, but he's here for like moral support and
He
all.
read the book.
So like, if he's not saying anything, that's why.
So yeah, just the book just went a lot more in depth into a lot of things. I think was more meaningful.
I don't think you can judge a movie based on how much they can put in from a book.
I didn't read the book, and so I judged my experience with the story purely based on the movie, and I really liked the story.
I just think the parts that they did put in weren't the most powerful. They put in scenes that I didn't think were important. The scene in the desert with the dad, I was like, that's not really necessary.
Yeah.
There were a couple scenes that were just like, it didn't progress the story at all. I think it was there for character development, which is why it made the final cut.
But I think the story in itself is a character story, not so
Yeah.
much a plot story, and it really does focus on the two main characters, which are Jeanette and her dad.
Yeah.
Despite all that, I did not enjoy it.
I did.
I liked
But
I thought it was okay.
I like character-driven stories. If the characters are good enough to carry the story, I will accept if there is not much plot. Cooper was right that there isn't really much plot in the story, but I was into it enough. The characters felt very real. Because, I mean, they are real.
Yeah,
They're
they're
real
real.
people. And I thought the actors also did a really good job at portraying them.
I agree. I love Woody Harrelson. I hate her parents.
I feel like I hate her mom even more.
Oh, her mom, when it's like, Mom, I'm hungry. We haven't eaten in 3 days. Mommy's busy, honey.
She wants to pretend that everything is okay. She just resents all of the negativity that's happening. She caught on fire at one point.
She did, because her mom was neglectful.
Okay, she knew how to make hot dogs. She obviously knew.
She was 3 years old.
I was making when I was 3 years old.
They're like, we haven't eaten in 3 days. They're eating butter and sugar.
And her
they
mom-
get all of the money to go buy food, and then the dad spends it all drinking and doesn't bring back food.
And then Rosemary gets on to them because she was going to use it on other stuff.
Yeah, it was like...
This is the only food in the house. It's the only food they have for 3 days.
Butter barely even qualifies as a food.
Yeah.
I eat butter all the time. But it's
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble for just eating butter.
I've never just eaten butter. That's
Me. As we were leaving the theater, we were talking about how oddly structured this movie was. It cuts back and forth between the past and the present, but the present scenes will last about 5 to 10 minutes, and the past scenes will last like usually about 30.
They were going on like along a pattern of like flashback, present, but then it was like flashback, and then a flashback within that flashback, and then it switches back to the present for like 8 years.
It's
And
very
then this is how
inconsistent.
the movie ends.
I didn't think a lot of the present scenes were necessary.
There
I would
wasn't
much
a-
rather know about her childhood, and I'd
There
rather
wasn't
them
a
put
lot
more
of
about her
present
childhood.
scenes in the book.
No.
It was in the
I
beginning and then the
totally
end.
Yeah,
disagree.
it went
Really?
through the entire
I thought the
story
present
without
scenes
flashbacks.
were way more interesting.
Who played like the grown-up Jeanette Walls?
Brie Larson.
I really liked how they
I thought
aged the characters
yeah.
down. Brie Larson played adult Jeanette and also 17-year-old Jeanette, but they looked like two different people.
No, but I think that tells you a lot about her character, the way her performance changes, because when I saw the teenage her, I became much more fascinated in the adult version of her. She really doesn't want to live the way she lives as an adult. The only reason she's living that way is because she wants to be the exact opposite of what her parents are.
And her teen years were rushed pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't really like Brie Larson as an actor.
What did you say, a cartoon character?
She looks like a cartoon character. She emotes. It's not overacting. I just don't like the way she does it.
I mean, I think she's a good actress, but I never see a differentiation in character.
Like I didn't like her in Kong Skull Island either.
We never reviewed Kong Skull Island.
Dude,
on
I
this
will
channel.
review.
Dude, I will go-
I will
I
review
will
Kong
go
Skull
see
Island
it.
right now.
Yeah, spoilers. Yeah.
Why
Go,
should
go
I-
to the time, go
But
to the
yeah,
bottom
we
of the
said
screen.
that.
So
Her dad's dead. Her dad's dead. Her dad's dead.
one of my problems with the movie is that I think this is a problem with many book to film adaptations, is that in books they can just describe how the characters are feeling, but in movies you can't really do that.
Yeah.
You have to find unique ways to do it, and so I didn't fully understand why she decided to forgive her parents.
I mean, they're the only
Well,
thing
then
she's
she was like,
ever
hold
known.
on, wait, my dad's dying, I'm never gonna see him again. We actually got along when I was a kid. Oh, he was good to me sometimes.
They didn't really explain it in the movie, but she like went to school, but she didn't have a whole lot of friends, so her family was really the only thing she had.
When she was at college, when her dad brought money for her.
I definitely
like
cried
that.
during that scene, but I cry in every movie. So.
I didn't cry.
I don't cry.
I'm surprised I lasted longer than I did because in La La Land I cried in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
You cried in the first 30 seconds of
Of
La La
what?
I
Land.
cried in the
I
first
know.
30 seconds of La La
But
Land.
to be fair,
Okay,
like,
it's the music.
We're talking about the Glass Castle.
Along with the music, I thought it was very unimpressive.
we're talking about Glass Castle
The
now.
Glass Castle. Music was not impressive. It was very
there
repetitive,
any
and it
music?
didn't make me
Yeah.
connect at all with anything.
There were scenes
I
where
like
it was
the
like just
music.
characters
I disagree.
That's like one of the only things I really noticed about a movie is like music, and I totally forgot about the Glass Castle.
I'm the exact opposite of everyone. I don't usually notice music
I
in movies, but this one I did, and I
always
liked it.
I was bored the whole.
It was
time.
long.
There were
only-
scenes I did enjoy, don't get me wrong, like I liked some of them, but most of the time it was kind of slow and uninteresting.
I feel like if it had just been like a good 15 to 20 minutes shorter, it could have
Yeah.
been a lot better.
There was some
Chopped down
scenes
would be
that
so
were
good.
definitely way too long.
My biggest critique would be that like, this movie doesn't really need to be made. I think it works better as a book. No one was like, oh man, I want a Glass Castle movie right now.
Do you want to do final verdicts?
Sure.
now?
Brett, you want to go first?
1.
Okay.
I think I'm probably gonna give it a 6, just because it kind of follows the book, but not really.
I just want to point out 2 specific scenes we didn't talk about. There's one scene in a pool where the dad starts
Oh,
throwing her
It
over
doesn't
her
happen
dead.
in a pool. It happens in like a lake.
I thought it was a lake.
Okay.
It definitely happened in a lake.
Okay.
Whoa.
I love that scene
I
so
love
much
that
because of
scene.
how it was shot. Because it's one take and it follows her into the pool, and I think it really
And
puts
I
you
like-
in,
I like the
it
sound
puts
design
you
of
in
that.
her
Yeah, yeah.
perspective and how it really does make
There
you
was
feel
also
like you're
another shot.
drowning
There was
with
also
her.
another shot like that.
Where the dad and mom are like hitting each other
Yeah, and
upstairs,
she threw
and
him
then
out
he
the
throws her
window.
out the window,
And then the
and
kid's
it
like-
follows the kids downstairs to outside. It goes back up to the mom. They run upstairs, and it's all one shot, and
That's
I really
really
like
cool.
that.
That scene was intense.
So I'm gonna give this movie a 7. I think it may be because it was my first time experiencing the story, so I didn't know it beforehand.
I'd probably give it a 5. I didn't like the way it was edited or put together. I think they could have taken better scenes from the book and put them in place of other scenes and how it was cut with the past going to the present and weird chronology of the story. It's fine, so I'll give it a solid 50%.
I give this movie 5 drowning Jeanette Walls out of 10. I watched Alien Covenant and I was like, this movie makes no sense. But like, I enjoyed it more than The Glass Castle because at least I had an opinion of it. Like the only opinion I have about this movie is that it was boring.
Our final verdict is a 5.75 out of 10. It's,
It's
better than the Emoji
Movie.
Movie. Follow us
Comment
on
us what you think.
Follow us on Instagram.
Comment
Again,
us.
if you comment what you think about the movie, I'll I would love it if you did put that in. Or just bleep the whole thing and then have me saying, I love it if you cut that.
All right,
Great, good
that's
job.
it.
Goodbye, kids.